Some of the coal workers who've been striking since the beginning of April for better working conditions have taken their protest to Wall Street. I want to give you a little bit of them outside of BlackRock doing their protest in New York. Okay, so they have been protesting now for a couple of months. In Alabama, we've shown you some of the violence that's been deployed against the protesters. And they're not alone. It's not just these striking coal workers. You also have, let's see, the president of the Retail Wholesale Department Store Workers Union and the Association of Flight Attendants are scheduled to join them. That has been going on. A spokesperson for the RWDSU said that Stuart Applebaum, the leader of that first union, will take part as miners participated in demonstrations for the Amazon Union Drive in Bessemer earlier this year. And one of the reasons I want to keep coming back to this, and especially stress that point, is I feel like because these striking workers are coal workers, some who might otherwise have an ideological inclination to push for better working conditions and unionization might be like, it's coal, or they're probably conservatives. The thing is, they've shown solidarity with other striking workers already. Like, that shouldn't be required for them to get our support, but they have. And as of right now, the industry hasn't budged. The coal company hasn't budged. A couple of weeks into the strike, it looked like there was a settlement, but the workers said that it wasn't sufficient and voted it down. Bear in mind, we've already covered what concessions they made back in 2016 to keep the company afloat. It was a fairly massive set of lower wages, number of vacation days, things like that. And it's been almost half a decade now, and the conditions haven't improved. So, Dan, it's an interesting case because it's about coal, but what are your thoughts about this?
Yeah, I think it's interesting, especially the way you framed this at how people might go, oh, this is coal or coal miners. I may not agree with them or not. When I think you can believe two things at once, that Americans, especially regular rank and file people, not like us who are on media or pay attention to politics all the time as a hyper thing, often have multiple contradictory opinions about politics in their head at the same time. And that's just how they go. And so it's actually easier to build solidarity with people, especially when our enemies are the same. It's these large corporations who are being exploitative. We can actually build solidarity there. So I think it's really good that folks are supporting these coal miners in their strike and like what they're ultimately fighting for, which are just like the same things a lot of people want and fight for and aspire for, which are just better working conditions, the ability to be able to like provide for themselves, their loved ones. Like, it's really general, basic American stuff. A really savvy politician who wants to play off the whole, or even a savvy right-wing politician who wants to play off the whole like right-wing populism thing could jump in and support these coal miners, because that's gonna maybe be your base anyways. And then also on the flip side, a savvy left politician could really come in and go against that narrative that, hey, people on the left or so-called Democrats can't support like working class white folks, or like working class, just people of color in general, because it's not just white people who are coal miners. So this is a good political opportunity to be here, and I'm hopeful for more of this type of attention to be paid on it, and for more of these efforts to happen.
Yeah, and I loved your point about how a right-wing populist could try to jump on this. Unfortunately, right-wing populism is so substance-free that they haven't done that with months in which to do it, because there's nothing there. Yeah, and I made the point the last time we talked about this story that I wonder if like AOC or Bernie Sanders have reached out. I don't know, honestly. Maybe they have. I don't know, but I would love to see one of those politicians showing them that support. But I want to piggyback on Dan's point about the right-wing politicians, because I saw an article on Gizmodo that was very fascinating that brought up something that makes sense. This is by Darna Noor of Gizmodo, who said, why is it that Fox News has no interest in this whatsoever? Like, Fox apparently, according to Darna Noor, has not talked about this. It's a protest that's been going on for almost 3 whole months. It is literal coal miners fighting back against this exploitative company. And the thing is, They love coal miners most of the time. She describes it, here was a scene made for TV. Burly miners that so often form the backdrop for former President Donald Trump's environmental rollback announcements, standing up to rapacious firms that populist Republicans have railed against. It's part of the ruling class that Tucker Carlson loves to talk about. And they would talk about how Biden was talking about shutting down coal plants. He's shutting down pipelines. These damn Dems are fighting back against these workers who are the lifeblood of America. Oh, those workers that are the lifeblood of America want better working conditions? Screw them. We're not even going to acknowledge that they exist. And isn't that kind of weird? Like, they would have you believe that the right-wing populists, like screw that socialist populism. That's stupid. We got a better version. It's a right-wing version. But they have no interest in helping out these workers. They're not even willing to pretend, because of course, they're not interested in coal workers. They're interested in coal executives, coal CEOs, coal company profits. Those are useful. The workers, those are inconvenient. They occasionally strike, they occasionally get black lung. We don't like it. It's a bad look. And they're not even willing to pretend that it's anything more than that.
Yeah, and they're not even, Fox News is not really even willing to pretend they're a news network, even when it's easy for them. But no, I'm sure critical race theory and cancel culture and Hunter Biden and all those other different random things are much more relevant for these coal miners who are striking for their lives here.
100%. And I don't know to what extent these coal miners are conservative or watch Fox News, but think about that. Think about the lack of interest they've shown in your plight. And it's why it's another great idea for someone like a Bernie Sanders to try to reach out to give them some support.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.